You probably communicate better in conversation than you do on camera. And that's because a real person gives you feedback. You can see when they're confused, interested, or unconvinced. But the camera removes that feedback. And when the feedback disappears, your attention turns toward the only person that you can see, yourself. How do I sound? Am I talking too fast? What should I do with my hands? Did I mess up that sentence? Do I look uncomfortable? Most creators say that they lack confidence. But confidence isn't the problem. The problem is focus. Because your attention has to go somewhere. And when it's being used to monitor your face, your voice, your hands, your posture, and every single word that you say, it's no longer fully focused on the person that you're trying to help. That's why trying harder to appear confident can make you feel even less natural. You're performing confidence instead of communicating. Think about how you explain something to a friend. You're not studying your own gestures. You're watching them. You're looking at them. You're looking at their eyes, at their expression. If they look confused, you rephrase what you said. If that doesn't work, you give an example. If the point is important, you slow down. You keep adjusting until they understand. You're not asking yourself, how am I doing? You're asking, do they get what I'm saying? That difference is the entire framework. Self-conscious communication points your attention inward. How do I look? How do I sound? How am I being judged? Audience-conscious communication points your attention outward. What does this person need? Where might they be confused? Should I explain that in another way? Let me show you what this sounds like. A self-conscious creator thinks, I need to sound confident while I explain this. An audience-conscious creator thinks, this idea might be confusing, so I need to make it simpler. The first person is managing themselves. The second person is just trying to help someone. And because the second person has a clear problem to solve, their voice, pacing, expression, and gestures, they start to support the message. They stop trying to focus on themselves and give their attention a more useful job. And here's why that becomes difficult on camera. In a conversation, the other person's face keeps your attention pointed towards them. But on camera, that face isn't there. So you can't see when they lean forward. You can't see when their eyebrows change. You can't see the moment when the idea finally clicks. So unless you deliberately picture the viewer, your attention naturally shifts back to yourself. The camera removes their face, but it doesn't remove the person. There's still someone on the other side of that lens. They clicked because they have a question. They might be confused. They might be frustrated. They might need someone to explain the idea in a way that finally just makes sense. Your job isn't to convince them that you look confident. Your job is to make them think, that finally makes sense. So try this in your next video. Before you press record, picture one real person who needs the message. Not an audience, not a subscriber count. One person. Maybe even tape a picture of that person by the camera. Picture the question they're trying to answer. Picture the point where they might be confused. And then record only for them. Whenever you start thinking about your voice, your hands, or how you look, return to that one question. What does this person need from me right now? Maybe they need a simpler sentence. Maybe they need an example. Maybe they just need you to slow down. Maybe they just need to hear that their problem is understandable. And then when you watch the video back, don't begin by asking, did I look confident? Ask yourself, would the person that I'm talking to feel understood? You don't overcome self-conscious communication by fighting yourself for your own attention. You overcome it by giving your attention somewhere better to go. The camera removes the feedback. It doesn't remove the viewer. So stop talking to the camera. Start talking through the camera. To one person. That's when you stop performing and you start communicating.